of opinions, watered down and weak. There's a signal cutting through. You hear it when they speak from a place of victory, a place of sweat and might. 3 Olympic legends turning on the light. Got the gold medalist, Herb on the mic. His logic hits you faster than a turning sidekick. Got one with the silver, the master of the art, breaking down the strategy, tearing it apart. And TJ with the bronze, the voice of the real, telling you exactly how the athletes feel. Crank it up, it's Warehouse 15, the hardest kick you've ever seen. They call the shots, they drop the truth. It's a verbal blitz, you see. Yeah, they're stepping in the ring and they're not pulling any punches. Sorry, not sorry, that's the guarantee. Sorry, not sorry for the love of TKD.
Sorry, not sorry.
Today.
That time again. It's that time again. We are back. It's the Warehouse 15 and not the 14 or the 13. We got Coach Juan Moreno, and he is ready today, raring to go. I noticed that TJ gave up on his blue. He's back to the man, Mike Tyson, the king of the unequivocal, the unimaginable Mike T.
Hey, let me start, because first of all, I gotta show you my new glasses, complimentary of the Perez family. I got.
Oh, those are beautiful. Honey,
come
here. Look at
I got
Juan's
that blue
glasses.
and yellow. You like that, TJ?
He got new glasses. It looks beautiful.
Progressive. So I can.
He got the progressives. He used your thing.
No, but
That's Foster City Eye Care. Send your orders to us. The rest we'll take care of.
These things make me dizzy, though, man. I'm like, I got to get used to them.
You got to get used to them.
Yeah.
So when you look down, you read like this.
That's correct.
And when you look up, yeah.
But TJ, I like your shirt. But I got to
come look at those glasses.
let me come look.
Coming.
I like how my outfits are always.
No, we got to start with it. But
all right,
but
go ahead.
This is acceptable today. This is one of my favorite hoodies.
It's acceptable.
It's beautiful.
But I got to stop you guys because.
Hey,
dude. Honey, check the mail. Check the mail. See if I got a shirt. Did I get a T-shirt?
Ty, listen.
Did I get a T-shirt?
I tried to send it to Puerto Rico, but it bounced back because Bad Bunny said, no me gusta. No me gusta.
Don't get me started on the Bad Bunny, hate on Bad Bunny, my brother.
It's tight, right? It's tight. You guys like it?
I like it.
Dude, I love it.
I got you guys. No, this is a prototype. I had one made just to check it out. I'll make TJ. I'll send one to Croatia for you, and then Young.
Notice who you took care of first.
No, Young. I'll send yours.
It's gonna look good on me.
But
you're just gonna complain about it. Tell me
TJ, you're glowing though. You glow. Get back in the light.
No,
get back. You got a blue aura about you today.
But I gotta say something else.
My light bulb.
Hey,
go ahead.
Look, man. TJ was delayed this podcast. We're doing this late at night. It's dark outside because TJ had a barber. But like I did my early shout out to my man Danny the barber, made me fresh, for my Brazil trip in China. Boy, let me see you. Let's see your fade. Let me see. TJ,
me
or not TJ? You. First of all, you. I've seen your haircuts. We ain't gonna talk about your hair.
This one's not good. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a little rough. My guy TJ, believe it or not, Terry, I got a TJ too. My TJ didn't do me well.
Listen, Revive Barbershop, Miami, Danny the barber. I gotta give a shout out. So I told him about the podcast today, so he's gonna check it out.
That'll be easy to find. Danny the barber. Yeah.
Danny the barber.
That'll be easy. Yeah, Danny the barber. I'm here for Danny the barber. Yeah.
Hey, man, leave Danny
alone. That's like John the plumber. John the plumber.
Plumber? Where'd you learn to speak?
I didn't do my warm-ups before today. I should do them now.
No.
Man, that Tyson thing is scaring me. Every time it's like it peeks up from the bottom of the frame.
It's true.
That's funny.
I know. I can't. It's scaring me. It looks like a video, actually.
It looks like something.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Calm down.
I'm
not going to say anything about Tyson because he could still fight.
It is a late night win though, so that's good.
Not for me. 7:20.
That's true.
What you got, TJ? You good?
I'm good, very good. It's like the end of my day, so every time I come home, I feel good. So I had a few karate classes today, a couple new students, and it's pretty interesting as always. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask a question? So when they come in, do they have shoes or no shoes? I'm just curious.
So that's a big thing.
When they walk into school, like they're wearing shoes or no shoes?
When they walk into school, you're stupid. You're dumb. You're dumb. You're so dumb.
And do you take tuition in cash, chickens, or milk?
I don't know why he thinks North Carolina is so country. It's crazy.
I looked it up on a map. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But anyways, yeah, my kids are fun, man. So I got to work with those guys tonight, and I had my adult classes before that, and then obviously my senior guys to finish out the day with some strong training stuff. So always good. How about you?
Good, same thing. I've been packing all day, getting ready. I'm gonna be gone for over 3 weeks, so I got a lot to do. Had to kind of get everything set up. I know it's gonna be a tough one, but heading to Rio tomorrow night. I get there in the morning, right to training. Actually, I'm gonna probably head out to one of our coaches' schools. Just he's got some things going on, so I might go check it out for a little bit. But yeah, back to work, man. World Championships. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Talk about that a little bit.
That's right. I'm heading out to Canada this weekend too. I'll be going to see my guy Mark down there in Canada. We got a seminar going on Saturday. 2 good sessions. I'm excited. I always see the stuff that he does with his kids, and when he the stuff that he posts. I feel like it's a very sport-based system. So it's gonna be interesting. It'll be fun. Obviously, some other schools coming out, so looking forward to it.
Well, I know we got a lot to get to tonight, and Coach Moreno's got to get to bed because he doesn't stay up usually past 9 o'clock, and then TJ's got to check in with his officer. So let's get to it. I think we got Coach Moreno leading us off today.
Before I do that, I just want to ask you guys something. Did you guys see that this drama going on with this football coach from Arizona, where the guy was running for the touchdown and he's about to cross the line and he fumbles the ball. The coach,
no, he dropped it, right?
He dropped it. He dropped it.
Yeah,
So
he dropped it.
So then the coach is like, I don't know about on purpose.
No, I mean like he thought he crossed the line. He dropped it early, right?
Yeah. But the coach, one of the coaches on the sideline is just yelling at him. Then he kind of like whaps him in the shoulder as he walks by. And so now it's been this big media thing. He got fined $100,000 for that, for I don't know if it's for discipline or whatever. But, people are not even talking about the guy that made the horrible mistake. Like in some coaches, they would have cut him right there. Cut him. But like it's almost like it's the fault of the coach. And it's crazy. Like in this day and age, I was listening to an NFL agent talk, and he was saying that it's almost rare for a coach to yell at an athlete anymore.
And what are we talking
fear
about?
Fear of getting fired, fear of just the players have too much, like not too much, but have so much control over what's going on. Like coaches can't even coach. So I thought about that. I'm like, professional football, the guy makes a horrible mistake that would have put the game 28-3, I think. Instead, the other team comes back and wins. And come on, you don't make that at a professional level mistake. And I guess my point is, it's crazy that the coach has got the big drama right now, and not the athlete. No one's talking about the athlete's mishap. Interesting.
You know what's funny? I've seen it happen a few times recently too. I don't know if it was in like a lot of college. I think it was college or high school, like that being like kind of like a funny thing that shows up on social media. But I don't know. I saw the incident. I didn't think twice about it. Like the whole exchange between them. I mean, I saw it, but like also I saw the athlete's reaction. I don't know his name. The athlete's reaction, and it didn't seem like
he was upset.
Like it was like, it seemed like it was like one of those football things. Like, hey, you got to tighten up. And they smack each other's helmets. They smack each other's shoulders pads. Football's football. So I didn't even take it as like a negative thing, but I did hear there was some stuff going on.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I don't know.
I thought it was a contact sport.
Yeah, but it was I don't know. I didn't think too much of it, to be honest with you, in that situation.
Me neither. Anyway, let's go, guys. Just because the World Championships are coming up in a couple weeks, like I said, I'm leaving tomorrow for Rio for a pre-staging camp, and then we head over to China. And since it's coming up, I was thinking about something, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, and Hyung, especially interested in yours. They're a little loud.
Guys, don't mind us. We're just doing a podcast, but you can come over and sing and dance. Sierra, come say hello to everybody since you were yelling. Come say hello. Come show them you're beautiful.
I can't even. My video's not coming in right now.
Come over here. Say hello to Uncle Juan and Uncle T.
As soon as I said it, popped back.
Say hi.
Hi. Oh, you look so pretty. What? Good thing
he says you look so pretty.
Good thing you look like your mom, because your dad.
She says, good thing you look like me.
No, I did not say that. No.
Go ahead.
My question is, I don't know if it's philosophical or just your own opinion. Do you think that winning a world championship right now in the sport of Taekwondo has as much meaning as it did in the past?
That's a good question. I mean, in the past, when you won the world back then, I'll be honest, right? Even for like a guy like me who was fortunate enough to win the Olympics, I will say that the Olympics was more important than the World Championships to me and to the world that didn't know Taekwondo.
Sure.
But the World Championship still was the penultimate tournament. I'd say now that's not the case. I think you actually would prefer to win the Olympics.
But do you think it has the same meaning to the
You
individual?
mean pound for pound, pound
No,
for
the
pound.
individual and like how we see a world. There's going to be a world champion in a couple weeks. How do we view them? Do we view them in the same as maybe we viewed some people of other eras? What do you think, TJ?
I think for me, with the introduction of like all the Grand Prix and the Grand Prix challenges and all those things, we've seen. I think maybe we've seen those high level matchups so often because of the ranking. It doesn't feel as strong, but obviously the World Championships are the World Championships. I think there's a lot of tournaments out there now, a lot more competition going. I think before everyone met at the World Championships and it was like you didn't know what could happen that day. You know what I mean? In my eyes. So maybe it's for that. Maybe it's just because we're so used to fighting all these high level tournaments against high level people. But just slightly, I don't know about compare before and now. There's gonna be a World Championship. Being a World Champion is like special. Obviously, I think it it competes with being an Olympic gold medalist. Like it's the same thing in the sense of winning that big one. In that
Okay,
moment.
so I'm going to say no. It's funny because I polled like 5 different people today and all of them said no. No prompting from me. They're like, it just doesn't, it seems like back in the day when someone was a world champion, like you almost freaked out. Like, whoa, those guys are like special. Those guys are monsters. Like there's going to be 16 new world champions next, couple weeks. Like, again, do you look at any of them and go, they're a monster? Like that guy got through, like, I don't know, maybe I'm being old school right now, but I feel like in those days, if you won the world championship, you proved that you were durable, you proved that you were technical, you proved that you were mentally strong. But biggest thing, everyone always said for being a world champion, you were physical. Like you were physically able to endure 6 matches. And now that we all know that, I guess you got to be able to endure 6 matches, but it's not a physical test anymore. It's a game test. So it's almost like you're like, oh yeah, that dude was pretty good. That lady was pretty sharp. She's good. But like, you're right, TJ. A world champion is a world champion. But I just remember back in the day, anytime I met a world champion, I almost freaked out. Like, dude, that is the shit right there. Like that dude is a badass. No questions about it. There's gonna be some world TJ. We know some world championships from Guadalajara that we're kind of like, how? What are we talking about? A scrape at the end of the match that gives you 5 points to win the match? Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on people's big result, but I think it's watered down.
I get what you're saying. I think when you say the word endure, and I think about when I think about that what you're saying there, before there not being like a 12-point gap even. What if you had to go through all 3 rounds with the bad guy?
There you go.
And that bad guy was bad, but like there was no stopping the match just because you were better. Maybe he was just gonna be stronger than you in the long run. I think eliminating that takes away from that what you say durability, because some guys, the top guys fighting the bottom guys, is most likely it's a lot of 12-0, 12-0.
Let me ask you this, and Herbie Young, you'll know a little bit more about this too. So, in the old days, like there was a consistent, like to win very rarely, and I can count maybe on one hand, did some random person come and win a world championship. But nowadays, a random person can win a world championship. I'm saying the good ones still do, but there was very few back in the day. Like you had to have a reputation, you had to win some big things, and you just saw it like it's coming. Very rarely, maybe a Korean, maybe Kim Cho-do was one guy that never made the national team, and then '89 he makes the national team and he wins a world championship in '58. Well, '54 back in those days. But like I don't know many people. Maybe Hessler from Cuba, like just came out of nowhere that one year and won a world championship in '68, I think 2008 Olympic World Championships. It was pretty amazing. But Man, there's not many people. And now you see it happen a lot. Somebody gets on a run. There's some new kid on the block. I don't know.
So, I mean, it was a tournament of endurance and perseverance and mental and physical ardor. And so, yeah, there's no doubt that you had to learn that. And with the exception of maybe some Koreans, right? But the Koreans, the system they came up through was that ardor. They had to go in and they had to fight and they had to win. So I think any tournament that you can walk away from and not having pain or an injury or hurt is.
I don't think that's the case. I think people still get banged up. I think there's still a lot of that.
They get their feelings hurt. That's about all they get hurt. I mean, come on now. Let's call it what it is, right? Like you watch those tournaments. I mean, we talked about it last week. Nobody's getting knocked out. If they're banging a leg, it's because they're lifting their leg and doing that dumb canceling stuff, and they're pulling muscles.
TJ,
nobody's doing shin to shin.
What's the main purpose of a world championship right now?
Just the points. It's just the points. It's just But I think that happened when we put points to all this stuff. It became it became more of that. I think I said it last time, or I think we were talking about it last time. We didn't used to like you won or you lost. There was no I got 6 points for this or 5 points for this and 3.5 points for this. Like that stuff's important now. You know what I mean? It's a numbers game. But definitely those are the big points out there. Those are the biggest funny
because that's what I wrote right here in my notes. I was like, I think it's the point stuff because all anyone does is try to chase points. The gold, silver, and the bronze doesn't matter. Hey, I got 6 points. I got 8 points. I got 10 points. I got 20 from a G2 World Championships of 14. I got 140 points, and they know these points are going to get them to where to their ultimate goal, which is the Olympics. So, I think the points took away some overall importance because at the end of the day, it's accumulation of tournaments. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, but piggybacking on that, like, cause we all fought in world championships. We all, I think we could probably in our eras, that was the thing to do, right? Right. We all wanted to win the world championships. I know I certainly did. TJ, you're probably right in that crust where people started thinking only the Olympics, like the Olympics was the big thing.
About 2013, 2015, I still think we were fighting for a world championship.
Okay.
In my brain. In 2013, 2015, I think we still were. I think a little bit like right after that 2016 moving into 2020, I think it became a little bit of a stronger points that. I know there were points involved, but those are still tough tournaments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just for the fact of like the depth and the number of people that were highly ranked or like very good in each division.
I don't know if this goes along with this, but like, because we all did, Hyung, right after you competed, you started coaching like seriously. I mean, before that, you were just kind of bringing people along. I think that was the era where you were an athlete and you just had people train with you, and whether you coach them in the post your competition career or not, it remained to be seen. But I know you did. So my question would be, do you guys think you're a better athlete or a coach?
Interesting. TJ.
I don't know. That's a tough question. I think I'm a better coach. I think I see a lot of things from just being an athlete for a long time and competing at that level. I think the way I can like process things, look at things, I think I'm a better coach and understand where these kids are coming from and what they need. I think coach, mentor, all that stuff kind of is what at the end of the day I kind of got led to. So I definitely think I have a strong side of that more than athlete side.
I never wanted to teach Taekwondo because I didn't think I was any good at it. And Coach Moreno knows this because I thought that I was just unique at what I did as an athlete, and I figured out a way to win, and I had a way of training. It was simply different and better than most people, and they didn't really look at it the same way I looked at it. So I never thought I didn't think I was good at Taekwondo, nor should I be teaching it. Then I realized I was actually okay at Taekwondo as long as I didn't define it by Korean Taekwondo. So if you define it by Korean Taekwondo, then, that's a different conversation. So when it goes to the coaching thing, I don't ever think
I'm a good trainer in the sense of in the gym training, getting somebody ready. And if they listen to me, then I'm a really good coach. And my son might differ, but to talk about that. But I'd say I was a better athlete and not a better coach, but I'm a great educator and a trainer. So if you're willing to buy into my method and you're willing to come and listen and you do what I tell you to do, you'll be successful. So I'm not necessarily the coach that if an athlete's not willing to do what's necessary, you're probably with the wrong coach, because I'm not going to babysit you. So I'm going to probably say a better athlete. What about you, Coach?
But TJ, what are you going to?
I was gonna say real quick, because we were talking about that, and he started talking about, what he was just saying. I think coaching, because I know like my career and where I started and how I got to where I got, I was coached the entire time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was very, very coached. I was from the beginning. I was taught what was Taekwondo. I was taught how to stand, how to move. Like I had very in detail coaching. And I think that's what makes me a little bit more inclined on that side to say that,
I think, it's strange because I think we all had a certain amount of success. And, I know both of you guys, Hyung, I know you were very, education was a very important part of your life, and you never saw yourself, because I remember you never saw yourself as a lifer martial artist as far as teaching and stuff like that. A martial artist, yes,
Nope.
but not
Yeah.
a school or a coach. And you had other things that you wanted to pursue, and you did those things and were successful at those things, but you still were drawn back to it. TJ, you're a lifer, right? You're a guy that was involved in the sport, excelled in the sport, did seminars and coaching and training at a very young age, and so it was a natural progression for you. And also being part of my program, I think it even helped you prepare yourself even more. For me, I definitely I asked my wife this question, and she said, I'm definitely a better coach than I was an athlete. And it's because I learned so many bad things that I didn't want to be repeated as I went forward. So in my era, I didn't necessarily have great coaches. I had a few good mentors, and I take things from them all the time. But there was way more bad and way more a lack of knowledge and understanding of sport development, mental development, physiology, all that stuff. And so to piggyback off you, TJ, I learned from that. I was, trying not to repeat it, but at the same time, understanding what the athletes went through and saying, I remember being an athlete and saying, if I'm a coach, I'll never do this. I'll never do that. And I haven't, I don't want to say those things are, because I don't want to call people out, that helped me at some point, but definitely I think I've had way more. And the truth of the matter is now my coaching career has actually outlived my competitive career. I mean, I competed for, 15 years and I coached for 25 years, so it's a little bit different, but I definitely think I'm a better coach. But Coach, you said something about outliers, so don't let me forget about that. Because you said you're like kind of an outlier, but I don't know. I mean,
So I mean, like it's interesting what you said, because we've all experienced bad coaching. So I think you become numb to it and you just don't listen to it. I had excellent coaches, my personal coaches. When I was on the U.S. team, I had a couple of good mentors. I had no.
True.
Sorry.
No, true.
Yeah, true. Oh, they said
True.
who? Yeah, true. And so in that way, I think that's it. As far as when I say I'm not a good coach, the reason I don't feel like I'm a good coach is my lack of patience for athletes that don't do what I tell them to do is just too great. Like I have, TJ was on a team or two that I was head of team, and he knows, and Coach Moreno was there because he was one of the other coaches. There was a coach that I sat down at a table and, explained the world to him because he had a different vision of it and it wasn't working. And he was living in a fantasy land. Now, somebody else might have handled that differently. I'm just too much of a realist that, I think when you get to the highest levels of coaching, you got to be honest. You got to keep it real, for lack of a better word, with your athletes so they know what the deal is. And if you're not doing that as a coach, then you're doing your athlete a disservice. And I think that was one of the things that I arguably could have handled better in certain situations, but I didn't have the patience to handle it better when it came to certain individuals.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. I think it's, like what you just said, the last thing you just said. I mean, if I go back in my brain, I'm going, and I was talking to someone else about this other day, coach. Like we were talking about, I was talking to Nat actually. Like there was never a reason to miss training. Like you just didn't miss training. Like you didn't give anyone the satisfaction of you missing training. Like you just didn't do it. Like it wasn't even, you did everything around your day to get to training.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you say that, and like in my brain, if I stick to that, it's a hard sell. You know what I mean? Everyone's got something else to do, or they got something else going on. I'm not knocking anyone. I understand life is life, but like the way we thought about it, the way I was brought up was you just didn't miss training. Just didn't happen. You know?
Yeah. Listen, I think that, I, again, you guys know how much I love other sports, and when I see athletes like Magic Johnson, like Michael Jordan, some of the greatest players, they couldn't be executives, they couldn't be coaches because actually there's a Taekwondo athlete that won a gold medal in the Olympics, and I remember talking to the person and they couldn't understand why people didn't have the same mentality you're just talking about, TJ. They're like, I can't understand why people don't want to get to practice. I can't understand why people don't want, like, they couldn't, they were such A personalities, obsessed in a positive way of getting their goal. They couldn't understand why the athletes that they were coaching didn't think like that or didn't want it like that. And so to your point, Young, it was hard for a guy like you. I mean, I think I'm lucky because I'm like an old school guy and I also have a little bit of a new school. I mean, I have a younger soul when it comes to the athlete development side, but I can see how it'd be hard for you in your era to just these pampered, coddled, candy corn, I can't say everybody, but certainly a very high percentage of
Well,
people.
you mentioned that athlete you just talked about, the professional football player or the college, whatever he was.
There you go.
That guy, he wouldn't have made it off the field. Like
And not
you
in
know,
Don Shula's time, not in
yeah,
any of the old school coaches, right? They would have been like,
yeah.
"You're out, get out," So it's definitely it's a little bit. I just thought it'd be an interesting question to ask you guys. What you guys think personally. But so you mentioned outlier, Young. So I was thinking about that because I know we've talked about federation structure and stuff like that. Do you think that federations or people try to base development on these superstar outliers? Do you think that's the right way or the wrong way?
USA Taekwondo does that. USA Taekwondo waits for somebody to be developed by somebody else, and then they poach them. They're poachers, right? And that means that you can't guarantee success unless you know that every day you show up somewhere, there's going to be somebody worth looking at or taking a look at, or somebody you could bring in the door. So sustained competitive excellence has always been about planning for the future. And we use the Sony model in Japan, right? Sony, on the first floor of their development, they have everything that's coming out this week, this year, this month, this year. Second floor, they have the stuff they're thinking about that's 2 or 3 years in the future. And on the third or fourth floor, that's where all the stuff they're thinking about for 5 years from now. So that's good development. You're planning for your future, you're developing the current, and you're nurturing the past so they can deliver to the future. And I think that when you make your strategy outliers, then buy a lottery ticket because you have as much chance of finding one of those as you do winning the lottery. It'll happen. And if you're lucky, there'll be somebody that'll get in the pipeline. And then you got to presuppose that they stay in the pipeline or able to stay in the pipeline long enough to be developed. We've had in the past, we've had outliers that came up through the pipeline, James Villasana, but that's not an outlier. James was a part of a structure in Texas that had an amazing history and legacy of excellence. So almost any outlier, with the exception of, quite frankly, you, Coach, and Arlene Lemus, perhaps, the rest of them were part of an organized program where they were developing competitive excellence. So,
PJ,
I'm
it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I think because it's such a, I don't even like using the word style game when it comes to our sport right now. I think because we've been limited to a certain thing and a certain way of thinking, that the majority of the people that are developed from the bottom, let's say the people that you start with and you kind of get them through, I think that part has to be super important to follow through with the people that they're with, because I'm not a believer in basing you have success with one athlete or a style of athlete or someone who's what's special, and then you base your whole program off of that, what you're going to give everyone else. I just don't think it lines up. And I think, again, you asked a question last episode about what do we consider of being successful at this point? Is it 1 world championship medal? Is it 2 world championship medals? Is it a quarterfinal finish? So I think when that line is moved on what success looks like, I think programs, they have their success and they go, look what I was able to do. And it's one person out of the 25 people they work with,
I think that, okay, let's go in the United States. I mean, there was we used to talk about all the successful people won despite the organization. There was no organizational support. Yourself, Jimmy Kim, Arlene Lee, myself, there's a bunch of people. And it's even, you can go into the Lopez's. Obviously, that shifted for the Lopez's when they got a lot of financial support. But before that, all the great fighters were created by themselves through their own personal coaches, personal programs. So they won despite. I guess my question is, we look at a CJ, we look at a Abu Ghosh, we look at these Servette. Like, these guys are unique outlier people, and everyone's trying to emulate them instead of going, those are anomalies, those are outliers. That is not what you base. There's one CJ. If you're trying to fight like CJ, it's the old school. You're trying to be like a Korean. You're not going to catch Koreans because they're so far ahead of you. You can't be like CJ. You can't be like Servette. I've never seen anybody in the world, to this day or before, turn and spin per number of times of attack as Servette. It's not even close. That guy's, his back kick in Naraban was his roundhouse kick. Like, it's crazy, right? It was nuts.
You can't so to put that in perspective, and I'll let you continue. So there are guys that's not even an outlier. An outlier, performance outlier is one thing. That was a freak of nature. Like Jung Myung Sam, freak of nature. Nobody could jump like him. Nobody could create like him. Servette, freak of nature. No one could do what he did. No one was, not that they couldn't do it, no one was willing to do it. And that was James Villasana. Yeah. No one was willing to do it. And those are different levels. Let me just be clear. Jung Myung Sam created stuff that never existed before, a way of doing things. Servette took stuff that was in the queue and did it with a regularity that most people couldn't do it in. And then James Villasana, he was just willing to take chances using traditional ideas of techniques and create them to a certain way. I'll give you one other name on that list, and that's probably Patrice Remarque. And it wasn't that Patrice was an ultimate tactician or technician. He was willing to go shin to shin, Kyoko Shinkai on you to a different level with anyone. And so those are different things. Whereas, all of us on the phone today, we were Taekwondo players. We understood our game and we played our game and we did what was necessary to make ourselves win. And that's a different thing than calling somebody an outlier, whether it's a performance. And I'll put in the outlier category for performance, not for technique, because he wasn't good at technique, is Steve Lopez. Lopez wasn't a great technician. He was a great tactician, in the sense of a negative management for game. He had the ability, like his brother, to be a great technician, but he wasn't a great technician. He got way better as he got older, but then his athletic skill and technical didn't meet his age and his IQ for sport. And so he could have had he had a long career. There's nothing bad to say about the guy, but you wouldn't compare a Steven Lopez technically to the other guys in that route that I was talking about. He wasn't that guy. And that's not to throw any shade on him or whatever you call it.
Yeah, those are definitely special styles, like Servette spins you're talking about. I mean, that's just he chose to fight that way. And I don't think you can't reteach it. You talk about Abu Ghosh, all those guys, they're just, but you can't reteach that. You can't.
Ashley Castaneda. Ashley Castaneda had a back kick that no one could stop. And he did it with reckless abandon. It wasn't Servette. The other cat from Canada that was that guy was Jean-Claude. This guy, Jean-Claude, had the sickest hook kick. He knocked out more guys. He was the only guy that I think knocked out more guys per tournament than some of the guys we talk about. He knocked out at least 2 guys a tournament with that kick. And they knew it was coming and there's nothing they could do about it.
But those guys, I know both those guys, and I have the utmost respect more for Ashley. I don't know John Claude too much, to be honest with you, but like I'm talking like I don't know what then what's then what how do you define an outlier? Because these guys are just
So an outlier, and that's why I want to make the distinction. One type of outlier is someone you had no idea existed. You find them, they show up, and they're just amazing and win everything in the world. And if you don't develop them, they come from outside your program. And I would argue, in most cases, they were developed by somebody else. I had like I had
Boy.
I had a
like
I had a.
like yo man,
So I had-
TJ, why'd you
No,
start?
can I tell you why? Can I tell you why?
you
Because
chuck that-
every time Mike Tyson peaks up, I get nervous, man. Tyson still, man. So that's a performance outlier that you didn't know existed. A technical outlier, a guy that can just do something that nobody's ever done before. That's Servette. And I'll give you a music analogy because I know you guys know this. There was a guitar player, Eddie Van Halen. What he did before anybody else could do it. There were guys doing it, but he did it in such a way that it was so over the top that nobody had thought about it, and he was unique in and of himself. That's why when you talk about James Viasana, I call him an outlier performance-wise. Technically, he wasn't stringing together new things. He was just doing it and being willing to do it when others weren't willing to.
But that's what I'm saying. I know you said Changman, he created stuff. I know he created stuff that nobody
No,
did.
he was a
that
freak.
Yeah,
No,
but
he
like
was-
these other guys, I gotta say they're outliers because they're just unique, crazy people. They just have this unique ability that I just think you can't replicate. And I think it's a trap that people. And I guess where I was going with this is federations are trying to build people around that person. Jay Jones, they tried so hard in GB to make everybody like Jay Jones. I mean, they had a little success with some of the girls, but none of the
Listen,
guys.
you can love the GB or hate the GB or whatever, and I actually like most of the guys, but their success didn't come from Taekwondo. Their success came outside of Taekwondo, and you're going to try to recreate that. Then you got to go back into that pool because the athletes they developed were developed in another, like you. You and Arlene were developed outside of Taekwondo.
But this is my
And
point.
10 years. That takes 10, 12 years.
So Jay Jones has to be an outlier. Abugash has to be an outlier. They're just like, they're in the system, but they're just that unique person that are just crazy in Servette. So I don't know. I don't know. For me, I was thinking about that because as I was talking about, coaching and stuff like that, I think too many people nowadays, and TJ, we talked about this last podcast, these coaches' identity is to look at the shiny star in the corner and say, let's train everybody like that, for no understanding of why, whether that guy's just physically more advanced or, again, maybe God-given talent more advanced, or just even a mentality. There's nobody, you could do all the training in the world, and you will not make anybody as athletic as Abugash.
It's funny. I used to watch those. Oh, for sure, 1000%. I used to I used to watch those videos where I watch the kids when that whole clap kick thing became a thing. They'd be putting their foot on the side of the bob and literally throwing themselves through the air, and coaches were putting down mats for them to practice it. Most absurd thing to watch.
I hope they all got brain damage and selling
we're
pencils in
spending
Peru.
any amount of training, any moment of training, any seconds of training practicing clap kicks off a mat. Like that is
that's 10 minutes. That should be 10. That should be 10 minutes of a practice. In other words, if you're going to do, let me give them 10 minutes. Here's what I'll say. The 99% of your practice, 95% of your practice should be the fundamentals of Taekwondo so you can actually do Taekwondo. Then you have to be a realist. At some point, you have to say, what is going to score in a tournament? Let me practice that. Let me dedicate some time to it. When you watch, and I'll go back to soccer, you watch a soccer practice, 90% of a soccer practice, 50% of it's conditioning the athletes. The 90% of it is technical and tactical. They're working on making sure the athletes have the technical and tactical skill. Then at the end of practice, maybe for 10 minutes, they're practicing penalty kicks because they look at it and they go, we may get in this situation, The best hope we have for a point is a penalty. If we can draw a penalty through our tactics, we got to make sure we got. Now, they don't spend an hour and a half practicing penalty kicks. They practice it.
But I wouldn't even be mad at them
Taekwondo.
practicing penalty kicks. At least it wraps into like where the sport isn't just shooting the ball or whatever. And
Yeah, but you should be mad. So you guys should be mad at Taekwondo in general. I'm going to say that 90% of what I watch in Taekwondo in general shouldn't be practiced. So I'm sure if I'm going to get mad at the clap kick, I'm going to get mad at the back hook kick to the body. You want to be mad at something, please, baby Jesus, show up at my school and try to back hook kick me in the body. Please, I promise you. At 65,
TJ,
I will kick you in your ass so hard that I will break your ass bone.
That goes off. It's going to be like 2-0.
No, TJ, they're gonna do it. They're gonna hit him in the liver. They get a liver shot. You're gonna go down like Julio Cesar Chavez, hooking him in the liver.
If I go down like Julio Cesar, then you could carry me out. If somebody come to the school, anyone come to the school, give me your best back hook kick to the body, please. I promise you, and we'll do the Jake Paul challenge. Come, I'll be there for you. I'll put 100 to your $10,000.
I get it. I'm just saying.
Hold on, let me practice it. Hold on. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh wait, let me get a better view for you all.
You know what's funny? Actually, I talk about old school, new school. Like you just said that what soccer does, but think about it. Almost every sport, especially combative sports, but football. Do they play football all week? Absolutely not. They physical. They recover. They work their techniques and they do their tactics. Basketball, same thing. They go through walkthroughs. Like MMA, they don't fight every day. They'll do a certain discipline, drill. They'll have certain times where they do live rounds. So does boxing. It's weird that these Taekwondo people think that they got to fight every single day. It's a strange time in the world. I'll tell you that right now. But
I think
the
biggest phenomenon is the go. Like every drill I see, it always looks like it's just kicking. You know what I mean? Maybe they're doing it for the cameras, maybe they're not. But I feel like when I see a lot of,
they're doing it. That's what they think. That's strategy.
Yeah, even like the tempo of some of the training drills and but are
they like all the box stuff, the box drill stuff? Are they literally jumping on a box, kicking a target, and jumping back down like all that nonsense that I see? You don't know what I'm talking about? Maybe it's just my feed.
Oh, like jumping off, like the whole jumping lower, and honestly,
jump up, jump down, do a fast kick. I'm like,
call me the dumbest guy in the world. I think I've asked Coach Ritter that question a lot of times. I can't fathom when you're on the mats and you jump down and go forward. Like I understand you're loading, reloading, changing directions and all.
But it's a conditioning drill.
It's a conditioning drill. That's all.
Yeah. But we built that. And we spent a lot of time doing these conditioning drills.
But the funny thing is, you do that and you have one movement. But TJ, they're trying to do strategy type stuff from it. You know what I'm saying? You build the muscle or you don't. If you want to go tuk 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 tuk, you do that by itself. You don't need to combine it with that. I mean, that's like trying to do powerlifting and reps at the same time. I think it gets lost. You know who does it really well is the Serbians. They have really good physical fitness stuff. Coach Dragon and his people, they have they know how to break it down. They know how to work every part of the leg in an exercise, and then how it transfers into their kicking. You don't see them doing a bunch of combining the two. I'm not saying never, but it's very separated. Where you see a lot of, I think I know where you're going with that, TJ. You see all these people, all their conditioning drills are jumping and doing the kicking, and falling and doing the kicking, or going back and doing the kicking. They're always trying to put the technical aspect into the physical aspect, and it's not necessarily always the right way.
I mean, I don't really like to talk about the stuff that we do because we have a secret kind of thing that we do. We have a lab, but we did. I try to always create drills that I think are good, and you've been to my school loft to know how I drill, and TJ, you've seen what I think matters and stuff like that. So in the past, I created all this stuff that I thought mattered. And then recently watching the new Taekwondo, I have a bunch of kids who compete, and right now I'm looking at them see how they're training because they're in the gym training with Mr. Lopez. And so we made the investment. It took a little bit of money. And we went out and we got this. We needed a certain amount of equipment because the drill that I do is very unique and it doesn't exist anywhere in the world. But it was perfect for the style of fighting that I see the kids being forced to fight, the go stuff, and the back hook kick the body. So, the next stuff I'm going to tell, I can't really tell you where I got it because to get this equipment was illegal. So we found this one piece of equipment, and then we had to go late at night to. It's a metal thing, and then it's shaped in a certain way, and the kids have to lay on the floor. They then have to get on the side of their body, the side thing, and I got this from the U.S. coaches that are our current U.S. coaches when they came to visit my school. They have to then use the hip flexor muscle, and they lift their legs up in the air.
I can't tell if you're joking or not.
No, I'm serious. And two monkeys. I got these two monkeys we stole from the zoo. They hit my feet, and the kids juggle the monkeys, and then they jump up in the air. They clap their hands, jump on a box. They kick their feet behind, kick themselves in the ass, and then they take their same 2 feet, because I only get ballet dancers.
It works.
And they clap themselves in the face before the monkeys can hit the floor. Now, any athlete that I get that can do this, then I send them to the Olympics.
That's funny.
Now, don't copy that, and I'm not going to tell you where I got the monkeys. And I'm not going to tell you what the metal piece was for.
All right. Hey, let's we got a couple minutes here. Again, since we kind of got into,
you got to get to bed. Did your milk get warmed up? Is your milk almost at room temperature? And I'm talking to cerveza.
I got that in the outside. No. Just try to be, keep timing. So
dude, don't be flexing, man. I saw you lifted your arm. You went, oh, what happened? I got a bruise. What the hell? How did I get a bruise?
It's old age. I got a bruise. What happened?
I don't even know how I got it.
That back hook kick, you hit the mic.
I hit myself. Dude, I'm getting old, baby. I'm getting old. Hold on. Wait, I'm sleepy. Okay, go ahead, coach.
No, I'm just like so.
Do you want me to send the monkeys your way?
Send me the monkeys.
All right, go ahead.
As long as you're not spanking them.
Oh, it's a late night podcast. I'm going to have to make this one not for the kids. All right.
Hey, we talked about outliers or anomalies or whatever. So let's do a couple in light that the World Championships are coming up. Let's do some dream matchups. Her Perez versus I don't know, Simone Alessio, something like that. Midget versus giant. Were they doing that?
They were doing that online. They had a bunch of people, like different athletes.
Okay, so give me some. I didn't see it. Do you know any?
The last one I saw was, let me see if I can find it. I don't even remember. There was a bunch of them. It was Servet. It was Abu Ghraib. There was a bunch of different places. There was like 5 or 6. I don't really remember.
Oh, that's cool. Like, so, give me a. I tell you what. You give me a person. Give me a person that you hold in high regard, and I'll see if I can match a current or somebody else. And let's. Oh man.
May he rest in peace, Jimmy Kim.
Okay. I'll go.
You better go home. You better hope Mike Tyson comes up. What are you going to say, Tyson?
I go Lauren, the Russian guy. Because you know why I pick him? Because he's long, lanky, very long, and very skillful. It's not a power game. He can hit good, but he's very, very skillful. Like, and he I think he comes from an ITF background because he can double kick, he can back leg kick. Like, he's definitely not a sit in your front leg at all. Because that would get trap hook kicked by Jimmy, and you would go to sleep for sure. But like, you watch this guy, young, roundhouse kick, back kick, side kick, back kick, pretty good fight. That's an interesting one.
That's almost not fair.
You know why I was, and again, rest of it. Man, why you bring up someone that's passed, man? I can't.
You asked me listen, if you want my dream team, I could go back and give you a dream team. I would question
Jimmy's conditioning.
Jimmy, you got to love Jimmy. May he rest in peace. Jimmy was the first guy to say, everybody says I don't train hard enough, but I win, right? So Jimmy was able to manage his fitness.
Yeah.
And they didn't know that he didn't have a anterior cruciate. He didn't have a posterior cruciate ligament in his knee.
Really?
Yep, didn't have it at all. His knee, but he was so muscular and athletic. So I always go to Jimmy because he was an anomaly and an outlier. He was so physical, so strong for a heavyweight, and so powerful. And every kick, he threw, even though he's the nicest guy in the world, was with bad intent. So I'll give you a guy, and that second guy, he should come from TJ, but it's Patrice.
It used to be a hard match. Oh yeah, I see this, TJ. Like CJ versus Chris Monich.
Yeah, that was on whatever page that is. They were on
Mundo.
there too.
It's on Mundo.
Is that for Taekwondo or for rapping and dressing? Was it the Oscar for dressing or putting on fur coats? Or the last one I saw, he was doing bang bang with guns or something, some sort of gun playing with no shirt on, and he was wearing a mask like he was a terrorist.
When you ask what about
everybody silence. I know. Yeah, don't join my. I think just on that note, for whatever it's worth, I still think Taekwondo is a martial art, and you should carry yourself as a black belt and a martial artist. So I know who he got his black belt from, but if you're a black belt, carry yourself like one. Don't be, yo and wearing your pants down around your butt and no shirt and fur coats and pop or whatever it is.
I found the whole draw. I found the whole.
Who's
draw.
the draw? Yeah, tell me.
First match is CJ versus Aaron Cook.
That whole thing.
I mean, listen, I love Aaron, but if in a current fight, I wouldn't talk to in an old school fight, I'd still have my money on Aaron. But it's hard to deny CJ's athleticism.
Yeah, Chris Monich versus Maxime. For me, I call Maxime easy, but they put Chris Monich. Pascal versus Czech Cisse. Maxime, the Russian guy.
Oh.
Pasquale was.
They just think he's gonna beat everybody up. He did kick hard and strong and a lot.
Who?
Chris Monich.
Yeah,
exactly. He's exchange heavy. He has some heavy exchanges. Like
Karami versus Sansores.
Karami.
Steven Lopez versus Alessio.
You think so? That fast?
Because Steven managed the game. Steven when
but they're almost Alessio manages the game too. Like he'll open up every now and then. But he's like
who was the guy that beat Steven and knocked him out? The Argentinian. What was his name?
Aaron. It was Aaron.
No, Aaron. But who was the guy? The Argentinian.
Oh, that's not him. That was I forgot his name. He was from in 2000. That was early. That was in '68.
What about Lynette Love? Is she on this list anywhere?
How about Bari Tarukulu versus Daniel Caseta? Easy Bari. Hadi versus Victor Estrada. Sorry.
That match happened. Happened.
No, it didn't.
Didn't it?
No, he lost to Karami. Karami knocked him out.
Oh.
Rafael Alba versus Moonday Sung. Sorry, Moonday Sung. Moonday Sung is nasty.
I'm not a Moonday Sung fan.
What? Abogas versus Servette. Dang.
Did they ever fight? I don't even remember. Did they ever fight?
I don't think so.
Who was that little freak from the Dominican Republic that was biting everybody?
Gabriel Mercedes.
Yeah. Him versus who? Nobody?
No way. They have
No.
Joel
That's
Gonzalez.
a crazy thing. That's a crazy thing. He was known for biting people, huh? And a sport taekwondo, he was known for biting people.
Oh, he's here. He's here. He's.
Who'd he bite?
How they put John?
He bit James.
Who'd he bite?
James Howe.
He bit James Howe. He had.
Did he bite Tyson?
No, but listen. I thought it was an overreaction. James comes back. He shows us his arm. You can see the top row of teeth and the bottom row of teeth. Can
I make a confession here? and Anthony Graff will own up to it. So when guys would try to survive me during sparring classes in my gym, they would grab me, and if they kept grabbing me, I would bite them.
What?
I bit Anthony. Let's stop grabbing me. There's no referee in the room.
How did you bite him?
On the shoulder. Not on the
had
ear.
a mouthpiece in. He moved his mouthpiece around, put it inside, hit him, and then put his mouthpiece back in, so the referee didn't see.
This is I'll bite you with the mouthpiece. Still hurt.
Jesus.
Yeah, it does hurt.
That was crazy.
Well, I don't know. This is a pretty good little list. I mean, I don't know. It seems like they got a lot of light guys on one side and big guys on the other side. They got a couple messed up, like Ashab. Remember the Belgium kid against Gabriel Mercedes. They got Rashitov versus Suntae Jin.
That's a good one. Now I'll take. Who do you think? Ashab, Gabriel Mercedes.
Gabriel Mercedes.
No.
You got these names you guys are speaking. I think you're speaking pig Latin. I don't even know.
You know Gabriel Mercedes. That's what we're talking about. No, I think you could get him. They were like he was bigger.
Not
Rachmaninoff?
much.
That's a
Not
big
much.
poser.
I don't think
He
so.
could fight. He could fight.
But can I ask you why you guys keep ducking? You keep ducking Lynette Love. Lynette Love. What's the dream matchup? Lynette Love and what? A pillow? What do you got? Lynette Love. Come on. It's got to be somebody short because she couldn't kick over her waist. So Lynette and give her who?
Lynette and Arlene.
Arlene. My money's on Arlene.
Me too.
Yeah, Arlene.
Raj Tav and Sante Jin. I don't know if you guys know you know who Sante Jin is?
I know Suntajan, yeah.
He's the one that beat Steven one time. Steven beat him one time. Daehun Lee versus Resper from Turkey.
Nah, it's gotta be. I like him too, but it's gotta be Daehun. I don't go crazy about too many people or think like I watch the consistency, but he could win consistently. He knew how to do it.
Damian Villa versus Levin Turkat, the German kid.
I think he was bigger too. It's gotta be Tuncat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
He's too
And
big.
then what about TJ versus Moreno?
TJ all day.
Thank you, sir. Nah. It'll be the battle of the ages.
Man, I reverse punch him old school.
I leave a hole in your Mike Tyson shirt. Mike Tyson, I have braces.
I told you about when I fought with Mark Williams. Did we talk about that?
Oh, yeah. No, tell me.
So, like, I always liked Mark, but I didn't like Mark because he was a loudmouth that didn't really do Olympic Taekwondo.
What we did,
And he won one time at nationals, and he came in, and he fought so goofy. Steve Kapner, he just fought so weird and just threw everybody off. And I was so mad at people losing to him. I'm like, how are you gonna let this old dude come in here that never fought before and whoop your ass? I was so Dong Lee lost to him. I was so mad. So anyway, after the 92 Olympics.
No, Dung Lee didn't lose to him. He lost to him.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even close. So and I love Dung. He's good at Taekwondo.
Yeah, he was. He's a good dude. But so we go to one of your first camps. I mean, Young, you.
Oh, right.
Herb invented these national camps, like in this country anyway, when it comes to real marketing it and stuff like that. I know some maybe Junbi Choi had like some training camps, but nothing like what you had. So anyway, he had a macho camp, and in those days it was a week long. So anyway, Mark is one of the instructors. I'm there. Kevin Padilla's there. Steve Kapner's there. Christina Bannon Rodriguez is there. Oh, just remind me about Outliers. And so all of a sudden, Mark, I'm like, man, we're gonna fight. I can't wait to fight. And that was after 92 because I'm like, I fight anybody. So we line up, and Mark, like, we're fighting, and we're kind of playing cat and mouse and checking or whatever. Nothing big. And one time, nope, just shin guards, forearm guards. He just goes, like, punches me hard. Like, I found that disrespectful because I'm like, dude, we're not wearing like that's a cop out. Like, you can't kick me, so you just punch me. You know what I'm saying? But back in those days, you didn't do that in light sparring. You know what I'm saying? He punched me hard.
He said
like
we did.
I had to like walk around. Like I was like one of these. So then I caught him with. He tried to punch me, a side cut kick, back kick. It got low, kind of low. So anyway. Later on that night, we're sitting talking shit, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna give it to you, bro. You punched the shit out of my chest, man. That." He's like, "No, Flacco, you kicked me with that back kick. I almost had to go run out." So I was like, "All right, man. We kind of got each other.
We cool.
But like, yeah,
Yeah, but that's real warrior stuff, right? So like,
yeah.
Like you guys hit each other. You didn't want to let each other know you got hurt, And to give it up to one of my Olympic brothers, Naeem Hassan punched me.
My roommate.
So he punched me once so hard that he didn't know. And we talked about it later. He's like, man, I hit you so hard and nothing happened. I said, if you had breathed on me in the next 30 seconds, I would have fell on the floor and died because he had punched me. He had a really good punch.
You know what's crazy? It's like people in that era, that dude punched people and knocked them out. Like for real. So as bad as Patrice was, like kicking people and people being afraid. Naeem punched people. You know better than me.
Oh yeah,
he punched people. Out. Like
you know how to punch like that too. He was running for vice president of WTF as the middleweight that fought Jungkook Young. He was a welter, then came in the middle and fought me 3 times. I beat him 3 times. The vice president of WTF from Turkey, Mateen Sahin.
A teen, yeah.
Yeah, we were sparring. We fought three
You know him,
times,
TJ.
and I beat him. But this one time, I was beating him badly too. 89 World Championships, and I kicked him in the kidney and almost broke his arm. But at the same time, he punched me, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like if I was like, "Gee, if I get hit again, I think I'm gonna die." So he's a tough guy. I always had a lot of respect for him. Luckily, I ended up on the right side of that, for me anyway, the right side of that matchup every time. But he was a warrior, man. That was like real stuff. Punching was it was funny because punching didn't score, but it scored. It scored in people's minds. Yeah, like you didn't want to get hit.
You don't want to kick to their kitty where they could punch you.
They could open punch you. You didn't want to. And there were guys that could punch. And for women, you guys remember this name was Kim Dotson.
Yeah, she
for a
punched
girl. And Mandy Malone. These guys
Mandy
could
punch hard too.
Dude, somebody put up a picture of her last week.
Yeah.
Of her doing. You see that back hook kick though?
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Jumping back hook kick. I was like, listen, she's had a sad life. I'm not going to speak on it, but yeah, she's a tragic figure, but arguably one of the best, in my humble opinion, one of the best women fighters I ever saw in Taekwondo. Just tough as nails.
Easy.
Yeah. I didn't, I watch her practice and I'd be like, dude, I wouldn't want to train with her.
You know what I was got one more thing about Outliers, but like, it's crazy when you think about someone like her, like length, flexibility, technical ability, power, explosion, intelligence. Like that's a rare. I know we talk about people being good nowadays, but that chick, she was good. She was legit.
Mandy was in the wrong place, the wrong time with the wrong people, and so
she should have been a world champion.
Yeah, she needed to be taken care of. But the list goes on to those people.
Yeah.
Right? There are great technicians that we all know that got undone by themselves or the people they surrounded themselves with. And if you were fortunate enough, either you didn't go into those rooms and so you weren't affected by them. But that Coach Moreno, that could have been you. You came into the room, and had you come in when you came in and anybody paid attention to you and you got in the mix of all of it, your outcomes might have been different. I think it was your adversity, the amount of adversity you had to face to get where you got, that made you who you were.
Listen, 100% adversity, because there was a time in 1986, I was invited to go to this international event in Puerto Rico by this famous middleweight in the United States that had just won the World Cup. And, there was no social media. There was only like telephone numbers. And I waited by my phone for about 2 months and up until the week that I thought I was going to go. And I never got the call. And I'm
86.
That was the year I was born.
86?
It was you invited me. That was after the Nationals that year. No, real fast. I want to talk about Outliers something, because I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast with Michael Venom Page. He's the point fighter that turned to a kickboxer, went to Glory, and then came over to the UFC. And he's like, he does like Nada Bonds. You know who he is, TJ.
Yeah, good guy. Yeah,
good guy, super nice. But it was interesting because he was talking about how he never thought he'd be an MMA fighter because he wasn't tough enough, and how he lost so much, and everything was point and tag. And Joe Rogan was talking about how it's a missing piece in MMA because they know how to get out and they know how to explode so fast. And I agreed with what he said in principle, but I was like, I didn't agree, because talk about Outliers, because Herb, how many great point fighters in our era tried to come over and fight WTF style at the time and just couldn't do it. How many great kickboxers can't do MMA? Like, I think he's just a unique dude. Like, he's just a special guy. So, I understood what Joe Rogan was saying. I'm like, this guy was literally a point karate fighter that fought at the NASCA, the ISKA in Orlando.
Lyoto Machado.
He's a Outlier.
He's a karate guy.
And he fought like a karate guy. I mean, Wonder Boy.
And it worked.
It worked. But again, it's not I maybe go back to what I was talking about before. That's not a style that you can replicate. Like, maybe you put something of that in your arsenal. But I guess my point, if it was so dominant, why wouldn't every other people do it?
Well, they can't. So you got to remember too, and that's the last thing I say on. I know you guys got a lot going on, but so Arlene Lemus, when Arlene was Arlene, and what she did, she could do. But even in her world, they couldn't do it the way she could do it. And when she came here and did it, it was what it was. And that's exactly what you're saying. So
You
just
have to be
because
exceptional.
you got to be exceptional where you were, and then you got to be like Jung Myung Sum. I'll go back to that leaping, flying guy. May he rest in peace. He was exceptional in Korea. He wasn't just exceptional when he went to the World Championships. He was exceptional, beat everybody doing that stuff in Korea. So when he comes, of course, to the World Championships, he's going to be exceptional here. Just because it works with one guy doesn't mean it's going to work with everyone. Dude, I'm waiting for the shirt.
I just got it yesterday, man. Come on.
We have a new shirt coming out. So if you're kind enough to send us a comment, we'll get you some shirts if we like you. And again, if you don't get a shirt, sorry, not sorry. This has been the Warehouse 15. We're going to miss Coach Moreno. Hopefully he'll call us from points west, south, and north, and we'll do it abroad.
Hey, we got to do it abroad. That'd be cool. So
all right.
Get a
and then hopefully, I don't know where you shop, if it's Target or Costco or Wiggly Piggly or Piggly Wiggly, whatever they have in North Carolina. But I like that Tyson thing, and I don't know if I'm allowed to wear it, or would that be crossing some sort of barrier that I shouldn't cross. But if you want to send me a link where you got that, if that in fact is...
TJ, allow me.
Sure, go for it.
Look, you guys want to talk about what time is it over there? It's 8:30.
Oh, I don't pay attention to time.
It's 8:30. Now we know anything after 5:00. We gotta get the old man some Tums and some Rolaids, because that boy, he drank too much coffee by now. That boy.
Oh my God,
dude! It's that my wife made some food. I usually cook. She made some good food, so it is.
I usually cook. She made some good food.
Yeah.
Later.
This has been the Warehouse 15. We are out.
Peace.
Guys, good work today.